I'm Mortgage Mark. Let's talk about interest rates for a second, but not like you think. At least I don't think this is like you think. I was talking to somebody today. So this individual was buying a $700,000 home and she was putting down 600 grand. That's awesome. I mean, she's got a $100,000 mortgage. So we're talking about rates, and here's what it is. And the rate seemed a little higher to her than what she was expecting based on just prior conversations, whatever it may be. But here's the reality, guys. And understand, I'm talking generically, right? I'm not saying this is like your loans. So don't get me in trouble. But generically speaking, the bigger loans to a point are going to have a better rate than the smaller loans. Why? Here's why. If a mortgage company says they want to make $1,000 profit, okay, they want to ultimately, bottom line, when it's all done, they want to make $1,000 on this loan. If it's a $100,000 loan, that means they need to make 1% of profit. 1% of margin, whatever you want to call it, but 100 basis points or 1%. So 100,000 times 1% is $1,000. If they have a $400,000 loan, to make that same $1,000, they only need to make 0.0025% or 25 basis points. Literally a fourth of the margin gets put on that rate. So if Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac say, here's rates, or wherever they're getting their money from, and they say, here's the rates for today, the bank or the lender, the mortgage company, whatever it is, if they want to make that same $1,000 on that smaller loan amount, even though you can say, man, there's way less risk, I'm putting 600 grand down. I know, and that's great, but it doesn't change the fact that dollars are dollars, right? So in other words, they need to charge more on those rates. So oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, you're gonna find the lower loan amounts are gonna have higher rates than if you have the bigger loan amount. Now again, I say there's exceptions, and we're not gonna go into all of them, but for example, jumbo financing, that may change things. But generically speaking, don't be appalled when you wanna borrow like 50 grand on a $500,000 mortgage, or on a $500,000 loan, if that 50 grand's got this crazy high rate compared to the guy next to you, next door, that's financing just with 5% down, who's got a much better rate. That happens, guys. So if you have any questions, as always, reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you about your scenario. Please don't hold this against me, because again, it's generically speaking. And if you have more questions, you can always go to mortgagemark.com. And when you think mortgage, think Mark.